What's your superpower? Can you run really fast? Are you amazing at soccer, or do you make your friends feel very special? As a teacher, I want to help every student find their superpower and use it to change the world.
I believe that education in schools goes far beyond academia and is essential to improve personal endowments, build capabilities, and overcome constraints. I want to create a classroom where every opportunity is equal and given to every student, where they continue to benefit from structured learning while building social, emotional, and cognitive development. I understand that my students will come from various socioeconomic, religious, and sociocultural backgrounds. This means they'll come to my classroom with a range of hidden skills, talents, and interests. How these talents develop depends on the environment and the opportunities afforded. It's my goal to bring the best out of my students by acknowledging their individuality, understanding their various contextual factors, and connecting with them, so I can create a positive, harmonious classroom. Help them find their inner superpower and share it with the world. Now I get it. I just can't parade into my classroom and say to the students, "You're all creative beings, go forth!" I understand that our world is riddled with stereotypes and social norms, and there continues to be an unequal distribution of educational opportunities and access to learning and resources, where some groups are more privileged than others. Consequently, our students are being socialised to believe they aren't good enough, they aren't good at maths, or girls can't be police officers. To make it tougher for the students, we assess their intelligence on their academic ability. Isn't that crazy? The same students that come from incredibly different backgrounds and not one of them shares an identical lived experience, and we're assuming and comparing their intelligence on algebra. Assessing children on one single standard can misrepresent their own individual strengths and can enormously impact their self-esteem. Sir Ken Robinson believes it would be far more beneficial to think of children as having a profile of abilities and intelligences.
My educational philosophy is that students are unique and should be treated so. They come from diverse backgrounds, have lived different experiences, and have unique skills and talents. It's my desire to create a classroom where students' individuality is not only embraced, but it's incorporated into the learning. I will aim to provide a positive, supportive environment with content aligned with the curriculum that incorporates students' interests. I understand that academic knowledge can only be from experiences. Therefore, my classroom will be a place where students feel inspired, feel comfortable sharing ideas, and taking risks. I believe it is a teacher's role to not only be an academic educator, but a mentor in social, emotional, and cognitive development. My educational philosophy is inspired by two leaders in the education field. Ken Robinson believes all people have talents, but so many of those go undiscovered. He says if you never discover the things you're really good at, you'll never quite discover what you are capable of or who you really are. So how can I help my students find these talents and embrace them? Robinson likens a teacher to a gardener. Gardeners know they can't make their plants grow. You can't pull a tree from the roots and expect it to grow overnight. A good gardener knows that plants will grow themselves. They just need the right conditions.
It's my aim to engage, inspire, and enthuse my students by creating conditions that my students will want to learn. But I understand that I'm not always in control of that. I know that showing my students I'm interested in their interests and talents and encouraging them to embrace them will show what it means to care. This notion of caring for students is a key element of education, according to educational philosopher Nell Noddings.
Noddings argues that education should teach more than just science and literature, but care and happiness through both incidental and deliberate experiences, because what we know is only understood through experiences.
Noddings believes that to teach care and appreciation, you must show care. She says happiness correlates with a rich intellectual life with rewarding human relationships. But as we've discussed, students are whole persons with different passions and interests. So it's up to me to care for my students and understand what makes them come alive in the classroom.
Both Noddings and Robinson believe that a whole child, a child that is physically, socially, emotionally, and spiritually content, can achieve incredible success.
Knowing my students and understanding and recognising their varied linguistic, cultural, religious and socioeconomic backgrounds directly correlates with the Australian Professional Standards for Teachers. This underlines the importance of knowing my students and how they learn, while maintaining a supportive, safe learning environment. It is my duty of care to understand and know each child, their interests, aspirations and abilities. To alleviate social norms, it is important I develop relationship with students, families and the wider community. Building these positive relationships will help me understand my students even further. This validates the values associated with justice, care, and responsibility within the Queensland Code of Ethics for teachers. I believe that students are more than just their grade on their report card. They're incredible individuals, and we need to treat them that way. All of our students have incredible skills and abilities, and I'm so excited to help them discover them so they can harness their inner superpower and share it with the world. So what's your superpower?